my friends. It's great to see you again. I'm Beth, and this is Bravely Being Yoga. And today we are here to work on panic symptoms. This is a great practice to do at any time of day. It would be great to do at night if you happen to experience a lot of panic symptoms at night. But I'm also going to try to give you some concrete exercises, suggestions maybe that you could use when you are ramping up into a panic attack, no matter where you are. Or if you're just experiencing some symptoms that maybe mirror what panic feels like in your body. So as always, please consult your primary care physician and your mental health professional before participating in these videos, okay? You will need some blankets for this one to practice it the way we're going to practice today. So if you want to pause and go grab a couple blankets, you may want a couple pillows too. So feel free to go get those if you need them. So the thing I want to start with today is the racing thoughts that tend to accompany panic pretty frequently. That often is that sensation of feeling like you're going to die, feeling overwhelmed, the thoughts that are repeating over and over that feel kind of outside of your control. Those are all things that happen quite a bit when that panic is ramping up. And so we want to just be honest about that, recognize it for what it is, speak some truth into it, and be able to move with that and through that, okay? If you'd like to join me, feel free to do this practice sitting in a chair, honestly, if that's more comfortable. But if you'd like to join me on the floor, we're going to actually start with our feet together. I would recommend grabbing some blankets and making a nice little cushion for yourself under your legs. You can take a minute to see how that feels, what feels good. One leg may be more flexible than the other. One may need to be higher than the other. You know, just we're trying to create some support so that our hips can actually relax, okay? And if it feels comfortable to close our eyes, maybe we close them. If not, go ahead and leave them open. And I would love to start with those racing thoughts, noticing that they're there, maybe being able to actually give them a little bit of space. What is that thought that's kind of repeating itself, that keeps coming up, that feels a little bit out of control? And then as we just slow down a little bit, as we slow our breathing down, as we start to notice that thought, let's provide an alternative. So something that I often will encourage, something that I use myself is a type of mantra, maybe something along the lines of, I am safe, I am seen, I am loved. Maybe just repeating one part of that or all of that to yourself. I am safe, I am seen, I am loved. As we start to really notice our breathing, maybe we can just counter those overwhelming thoughts with that thought stopping, right? We stop that perseverating thought, that just keeps coming up. And we stop and we say, I am safe, I am seen, I am loved. And we breathe. Maybe we count our breath if that helps. Maybe we count to 5 as we inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We pause. And as we exhale, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as we are sitting here and breathing, repeating that mantra, I am safe, I am seen, I am loved, or selecting out one part of that that feels right for us today, we might add a little bit of movement. I encourage you to stay still in this, and I'm going to turn my body to the side so that you can see. So we might start a little movement like cat and cow, okay? We're going to allow our spine to really soften So it's almost like we are creating that same curve that we have when we have a nice cat and cow. We're creating that curve. We're creating a little bit of pull from our ankles, using our hands gently on our ankles. That nice curve in our spine, and as we inhale, we reverse it and we send that belly towards our feet, arching up towards the ceiling, and let's mirror our breath with this. So as we exhale, we curve. As we inhale, we extend. This movement can be minuscule. It can be so small. Or it can be a little bit exaggerated. And we inhale. And we exhale, noticing if those racing thoughts pop back up. We just notice that they're there. And maybe replace them. I am safe. I am seen. I am loved. Maybe one or two more arches and releases here. A little sitting cat and cow. Maybe as we feel ready, we'll settle back here in the center. And as we settle back in, we might just stay put. We might bring our legs back together or straighten them if our hips have had enough of this position. Or maybe we have a nice little gentle forward fold, maybe, right? So with the next exhale, maybe we just fold forward. If it feels great in this position and we want to stay here longer, maybe we put some pillows here in front of us to create some more support so we can really linger here. Maybe we gently shake our head yes and no. And maybe on that next inhale, we bring ourselves back up to seated position. And let's check in. A lot of times those racing thoughts are a big part of the panic as it rises. Our breath is a big part of it too. All we've been doing is matching our breath with our movement, creating some awareness for our breath, slowing it down just a little bit, and evening out that inhale and exhale. It's really easy to get tight in our breathing and have a very uneven, kind of stunted inhale-exhale pattern. So all we want to do is just create a little bit of balance there, okay? We might do a little twist here. So again, if we feel comfortable staying here in this supported little fold, we might stay, or we might bring our legs back together. We might straighten them, find another position that's comfortable. We're just going to twist very gently with our opposite hand on opposite knee. This is not a twist to really wring out our insides, so to speak. This is a twist to just create a different kind of movement in our core. Let's come back to center, reset, and try the other side. Just noticing what this feels like. Again, we're stopping the cycle that tends to happen in our bodies in that panic and creating something different. Let's come back to the center if we feel balanced and ready to do so. Okay, now maybe we release those legs, maybe even shake out those hips a little bit. As you can tell, I'm very comfy and warm today. It finally got cold here where we live. So next we are going to actually move to our hands and knees. Again, as always, if that position doesn't feel safe, maybe just sitting and focusing on that breathing is perfect. Otherwise, go ahead and join me if you'd like. With our wrists under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. A nice length from the crown of our head all the way to our tailbone. I'm feeling some little adjustments in my lower spine just by being here with a nice straight spine. Maybe we have a little bit of cat and cow movement here with an inhale and an exhale. Maybe we add a little bit of rotation. So maybe we allow our head and our hips to make these little circles. So our head and our hips will circle the same direction, and maybe we reverse it. As we feel ready, maybe we settle back here in the center. We're going to just create a tiny bit of heat here in our bodies. Maybe we stay here and we just imagine drawing our ribs together, engaging our core, and that's enough. Or maybe we pick our knees up off the floor just for a brief moment, a few breaths, to create a little bit of heat in that core. Maybe we feel some little shakes. Let's bring those knees back down. That was probably enough. If it wasn't, feel free to try once more. We're creating some heat so that this next position feels good and safe for our bodies. As always, feel free to try this. Move at your own pace. If anything about this doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel good, or feels like too much of a stretch, we back off, okay? So let's grab a blanket, okay? And let's keep a blanket nearby. We're going to, now that I'm going to take my sweater off, now that we just did that lovely series there, I'm starting to feel some heat. So we're actually going to bring our right foot forward, okay? We're going to do what's called pigeon pose, okay? It's a really nice hip release, sometimes requiring some really good additional support. So one of the ways that we can get into this position is by coming down onto our right knee and allowing this leg to gently lengthen out behind us. So let's try that. You can kind of follow along with me. So we're bringing that knee down and we're letting those hips start to lengthen and square off as much as possible. Now for some people, their hips can't do that, and that's really okay. All of our hips are built differently, right? So maybe we open up here in the hips if that's more comfortable. A couple good options, we can put a blanket underneath this right hip here, or even some pillows if that's comfortable. We can bring some pillows and some blankets here in front of us. Maybe just working to sit up straight in this position is a lot of length in the front of our hip and maybe a lot of length in that side, right? That right side, that outside of our hip. Maybe we inhale and we exhale and we start to fold forward. Again, if that feels good to our bodies. Maybe we have some support here ready for us, or maybe we just come straight down to the floor. And again, we add any support that we need, or we just move away from this pose if this isn't something that's going to serve our bodies today. Otherwise, as we're kind of tucking that right foot in towards our hips, and as we allow the ground to really support us, maybe we return to that mantra. I am safe, I am seen, I am loved. Maybe we notice how our breath is moving in and out. Maybe we shake our head yes and no, create a little bit of space in that cervical spine, those little tiny vertebrae. This is a wonderful pose to experience some restoration in, so feel free to stay as long as it's, serving your body, maybe that looks like a minute or two. Otherwise, maybe we walk those hands back up. We're going to sit onto that right hip to move out of this position and switch sides, okay? So we'll sit on that right hip. We'll bring ourselves back to a kind of a neutral position, and we're going to switch sides. So that means we're going to bring that left foot up, right? We're going to have a pillow, some blankets ready. We're going to start tucking that left foot in towards our hips. We're going to let that right leg lengthen out behind us. We'll get kind of cozy. Again, some extra support under that hip. Even if we don't have to have it there to be able to stay in this position, sometimes it just feels good to have some extra support. Maybe we just stay here. Maybe we're still enjoying a nice seated position, focusing on that breath. Maybe we transition to something like child's pose if that feels better. Otherwise, maybe with our inhale and that next exhale, maybe we walk those hands forward, returning once again to I am safe, I am seen, I am loved. Noticing what that breathing feels like in our bodies. Noticing what the sensations are. Are we feeling some warmth? Sometimes our limbs can get kind of tingly with panic, our fingers and our toes. We're going to come back to that in a minute, but, just checking in with even our fingers. I have socks on. I know it's unusual to wear socks when you're doing yoga, but with panic symptoms, for me, a lot of times that means that I need some extra warmth because my body gets pretty cold. So maybe just check in with those limbs, those fingers, those toes. Noticing that your body is still there. It's still with you. As those racing thoughts come up, we come back to I am safe. I am seen. I am loved. If we feel ready, if we feel balanced, maybe we walk those hands back up. Sitting back onto that left hip. We'll bring ourselves back to a comfortable seated position. And we're getting ready to wrap up. We're keeping this brief because I want it to be practical. I want it to be something that can easily kind of be inserted into the rest of your life. Typically, at the end of yoga, we end in Shavasana, which is where we're laying on the mat, maybe on our backs, maybe on our side, maybe on our stomach. So I encourage you to transition into that for a few moments if that feels like it would continue to help you get regulated, help you continue to move out of those panic symptoms. However, I actually encourage you, if it's an option, if you have another 5 minutes or so, maybe to go and take a quick walk instead. There's something called bilateral stimulation in our bodies. It's part of some therapeutic techniques like EMDR that really helps regulate our system. And when we are experiencing that panic, sometimes the complete stillness is just not sustainable, and it can actually ramp us back up. So again, listen to your body, notice what your body needs, and I encourage you that if it seems like it might be a good idea to keep some movement going, to maybe put some layers on if it's cold, step outside and take a brief walk, maybe 5 minutes, and again, focusing on the inhale and the exhale, and allowing yourself that mantra still, I am safe, I am seen, I am loved. Letting your movement continue to bring some self-regulation while having this community going out with you. You're not doing it by yourself. Hopefully you know that I'm going to go on my walk and we can imagine we're walking together, okay? As always, excited for you that you're doing this work. Looking forward to hearing from you, looking forward to seeing where this goes for you, and continue to listen to your body, continue to take care of yourself. So namaste, my light sees your light, recognize that in you, and I will see you again soon, okay? Bye.